Welcome to Franchise Addicts, podcast that covers every film in a given franchise. My name is Luke.
And I'm Chris.
And this week we conclude the Mad Max franchise with the prequel to Fury Road, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga.
A Mad Max Saga. Kind of like the Fast and the Furious when they did Hobbs and Shaw. A Fast and the... Or what was it? It was like... it was ridiculous. This is not as ridiculous. A Fast and Furious... like from the universe of a Mad Max Saga. We're not going to call it that, but we need in the title for you to know that it's related to it. So we're in a marketing conundrum.
They do show him. He makes an appearance briefly in the movie, does he not?
Max?
Mad Max?
He does. Yep.
I saw him. I saw his back.
It's a George Miller confirmed.
JM confirmed.
Confirmed. Saga always makes me think of the start screen for any Sega game. Sega.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah to Sega. Did you play Sega, Peter? You must have.
Yeah, I was. So it was NES, and then switched over to Sega instead of Super NES for whatever reason. So yeah, I played a few good Sega games.
I went
Streets of Rage.
Oh God, Streets of Rage 1 and 2.
Yeah,
for sure.
I had that, I did Sonic. I had Nintendo, then Sega, but then my little princess in the suburbs was like, I like Super Nintendo now. And I got that as well. And
dang, you had two systems from the same generation?
I know. Whatever. I know. I was balling as a young child, at least with material goods, not with emotional attention. But that's okay. That's okay. I turned out fine. But yeah, no,
doesn't
Sega.
sound like it.
That's another podcast. I'm going to start a self-help one. That's actually would be amazing. But that's not this podcast. Here we're talking about video games and Mad Max. But yeah, no, the Sega of it all. That was fun. And then there was the hockey game, right? Like
NHL 94 or 5 or something.
And it had that little extra. It was a little higher and had that little yellow chip. So it was like, this is extra graphics. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Sega 32X or something.
Man, fucking all right. Well, Mad Max, not a video game, although it should be. Honestly, I'm sure that maybe somewhere now there's probably video.
There's got to be something. I mean, I don't know video games very well, but there's like a post-apocalyptic video game that's Borderlands. There you go.
I looked it up. There's a Mad Max game on PS4 and Xbox One. It looks like it came out after the Fury Road or right at the same time, but it's modeled after the Mel Gibson movie. So
right. It's got to be heavily influenced by Road Warrior.
Be Mad Max. Become the iconic post-apocalyptic warrior, crafting and upgrading Max's equipment and weapons to survive by combining melee combat, gunplay, and tactical techniques. Gamers must form alliances as they work towards the goal of building their magnum opus.
Well, that's kind of how the movies work. You gotta build your alliances. But Peter, who are we joined by today?
Me, the tree cutter. Well, I'm joining you guys today, but I might not be on the podcast for very long because I've submitted my application to the war rig. I'm going to try to get the job of the boom crane grapple operator. I think I've got great experience in this in my previous job where I've committed gross negligence and property damage and personal injury. I once ripped a man's arm clean off, but he was just a ground worker. He wasn't too important, and he can pick up sticks with his other arm anyway. So I'm perfect for that job. So I might be leaving you guys soon. So let's get on with it, mate.
Tree cutter, do you worry you're too big to be the operator of the swinging?
Yeah.
Well, yep. I'm definitely, if I'm the equipment operator, I'm better than everyone else who isn't at that job. That's me.
Okay.
I love it. Also, I'd love to I want to give you the Christian Bale script for when he freaks out at everybody. And
I think you nailed that perfectly. You should do
I don't know. I feel like when I'm like, is that Bale right now? Thank you though. But that was,
when Springsteen would show up, hell no, get it on, I'm on fire. I missed that.
All right, I got a podcast with Obama, baby. You know he does. Did you know that he had a short-lived podcast? Springsteen, Obama. Can you imagine? You know, the boss, like, oh, no, I'll tell you a story. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's my Obama.
Good. Yep. It's just Robin Williams.
Yeah, it was actually Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It. I can't do the Obama. That's okay. But that is a fact.
Furiosa. It's a prequel. Don't you know? It was also a prequel from a writing sense in that George Miller wrote it before Fury Road.
Oh,
so he had this script in the can. He had fleshed out basically the history and backstory for every single character that ever appeared in Mad Max. So he was prepared to give a Furiosa backstory. Now, whether or not that was a compelling backstory, we will hash that out in just a little bit. But he was ready with the script. Famously, Fury Road did not have a script. It was basically just ideas in his head, storyboarded out, and they kind of brought the dialogue in. So you would think that this movie was way more prepared. Warner Brothers had changed hands. George Miller's like, I loved working with Warner Brothers this time around. Everything was smooth. Everything was great. They couldn't film in Namibia again, so that was the one drawback. So they go back to Australia. They actually shot in the same basin that the first Mad Max is shot in. The assistant DP, I think that's redundant, but the DP on the film / the cinematographer from Fury Road, in his 80s, wasn't going to work on the film anymore. They brought in the guy that worked with Mel Gibson on Hacksaw Ridge, and he's the cinematographer of this movie. And that is how I want to lead into this movie, because there's a lot of issues with this. We've kind of talked about it already, so I know how Peter and Chris feel about this. But the movie does not look right, and that's a cinematographer change and a location change. I think losing Namibia is tough. From what the little research that I did into it, it seemed like the basin that they shoot in Australia, you have to keep the frame a little bit tighter because there's not as much vast wasteland in the back. So you have to make sure that you're cropping stuff. They also got screwed by a bunch of rain coming into the area, so they had to shoot around a lot of stuff. And it just didn't have the freedom and that kind of like hazy white washout look that Namibia has. And so I think that's where I start with the issues with this movie, is it doesn't look right.
Can I add in that there's a ton of CGI? And talking about because I do research now.
There you go.
Actually, I talked to ChatGPT for 5 minutes.
I don't do any research. I go in raw, baby.
That's the way to go.
Bring it.
Just do it raw, dog.
Peter just sprays the War Boy spray and
go for it.
Pops on the pod.
Witness me. Turns on the computer.
Yeah.
He becomes tree cutter.
There's a process. But they use a lot of CG. Even the backgrounds, I guess, because of what you were saying, that the space was limited. Some of the background is literally CG.
I can tell. This is very interesting information. How
there's a lot of
cropped tighter.
They had to use a lot of artificial lighting too, so it's not all natural light, which Fury Road is just basically natural light. It is about as bare bones as you can get. And this movie tries to replicate that, but it has to cheat it all the time.
You can tell it's just not quite on.
It reminded me of, like, this is just a thought, is like, let's say, like, so Fury Road was a movie. If like HBO was like, hey, let's do a Mad Max like show. And it'll be
like Amazon.
Like it'll be kind of like
Chris. Boy, do I have a fun fact for you.
Oh.
So this movie, this script almost became a Studio Ghibli anime.
Ooh.
Miller considered handing the Furiosa script to an animator, Marihiro Maeda, who worked on Studio Ghibli, to turn it into an anime film called The Peach. They made about 80% of it, and then Miller got the go-ahead to make the real movie.
Poor guys that worked on that.
Wow, that's a shitload.
80%? Sorry, guys.
We're going another direction.
I think they should have done that. And speaking of like Studio Ghibli, I feel like because they're working on a Legend of Zelda live action movie, they should have gone animated Studio Ghibli for Zelda.
Well,
That
it's
would
like
have been good.
the appeal is shorter or smaller. I mean, like, right? Like, I think there are people who love it. Obviously, you know, there's that Predator movie that was anime, and like people, there was an audience for that. But if you do like a live action, it's just like a bigger spectacle.
You're just gonna bring in more people. Yeah.
Luke, I have questions about the timing of the writing of this script.
They had the colors right. They had stuff. Someone from my work sent me a Teams message. What are we here?
Can't get away from them.
You're good. You're lagging a little bit.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn this off then. Hold on, guys.
Peter, go ahead. Your question.
So, when did you say Fury Road was written or like conceived, and when was Furiosa written? What year? Because I'm trying to fit this into the timeline of Waterworld.
So Miller and co-writer Nico Lethoria spent 15 years writing Fury Road and developed full backstories for every character during that time. So as a part of that, they wrote Furiosa.
Okay, because the whole thing with a young girl who has a tattoo on her body leading you to a special place. That's the exact MacGuffin in Waterworld. Right?
I've never seen Waterworld.
Oh, damn it.
Never seen Waterworld. Well, now I know what
Dennis Hopper, the one guy who's down in the oil barge who says, thank God when he dies. That part's awesome, by the way.
By the time I was the age to appreciate it, it had so many years of being called the worst movie ever made.
No, that's horseshit. It's a good
I
movie.
mean, it's not good. I recently watched about half of it, and I'm like, okay, like it's a fun thing to talk about, but like, I don't know.
It's not Prince of Thieves, but
no.
I enjoyed it.
Prince of Thieves, baby. We got to do it.
Movie's
we
so bad.
Yeah, let's do it.
I would die for you. I lie for you. Walk around for you. Yeah, I die for you.
Wow.
The video, they're in the woods. Remember,
in the Sherwood Forest.
It's ridiculous. Brian Adams and his band just with guitars not plugged in the woods.
Electric guitars not plugged in.
They're like, it's fine. Don't worry. This is the early 90s. People are stupid. This is fine. Anyways, okay.
So, Peter, did fully answer your question. Fury Road was like never technically written.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a script for it, but so Furiosa is technically written during that 15-year span where they're writing backstories for characters.
Because Waterworld was 95. It's too similar. It seems like Furiosa's ripping off of Waterworld when it could.
I would imagine that it is. No,
because I think
for sure it's ripping off. Furiosa's ripping off of Waterworld.
And Furiosa has it draws.
Not that it's like the most novel concept in the entire world to have like a hero child who is the last vestige of their civilization, and they carry on that heart of it forward.
And it's not executed well because they draw some attention to this tattoo and map. If it is I don't know what it is. It's on her arm, but then it's not
fucking peach pit that she keeps on hiding different places and stuff. So they're constantly reminding you of that.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not like the other. It's important at the very beginning of the movie when the scavengers are bringing her in, and then I feel like they draw attention to the tattoo later in the movie, but then it's just forgotten about. So, I don't know. It's poor execution.
But I don't know. Her tattoo on her wrist gets called out a lot. Like that's a common thing that comes up over and over again in the movie. I just think it's not a super compelling story, and one of the problems is that it's a prequel, so we know where the character ends up in the first place. We know that she has to go through all that nonsense. So the first hour of the movie is basically just like, okay, great.
More
The
world
one
building.
motorcycle chase scene is kind of cool, but other than that, you're just getting introduced to new characters for an hour. Like it doesn't have the same thrust as Fury Road, which is like in the first 5 minutes you're in a car chase.
I feel
Yeah,
like
this movie. Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry. This movie lacked car chases. Last episode, famously, too many car chases. I think that
not too many.
George Miller, I mean, yeah, he wrote, what Babe, Pig in the City, and Babe. I don't think he's a great writer. Like, I think he does certain things incredibly well. And there's certain talents and the passion that this man has for his projects. But Mad Max, I mean, I'm going to make this argument right now. Mad Max is vibes. Mad Max is vibes. And it's like, it's weird. Why is this a chase scene the whole time? It's kind of sexually like tinged, but not really. It's not dark and horror like, which right off the bat, right? Like this movie kind of gets like it goes and the tone is weird. Like I feel like because of the story, it's like there's early on, they're going to
there's like a Blood Meridian homage when her mom is like strapped to that tree.
Yeah, and
like what are we doing?
It's very dark and like right there, I'm like, oh well, that's not what I'm used to. Like Mad Max movies are weird and they're violent and like some kind of fucked up stuff happens, but this got like sadistic, and it just was like, no, this isn't the vibe. And because they're telling a story or whatever, I think that it loses its thread. It loses kind of what made at least the first two, and then Fury Road. I mean, we can all argue about the Thunderdome also has problems when it tries to be a narrative, but like that's the thing. Yeah, like it just this is a really cool experiment that's like awesome vibes, awesome stunts, super creative because it's so fucking weird. But like when you try and make it a saga, you're like, oh, not really.
You nailed it. That's exactly what I was thinking. It was trying to be I'm serious. It was trying to be a traditional movie. Mm-hmm. And you nailed it with the term vibes, because Fury Road is unapologetically like, this is what we're doing and we're not going to stray from it. And this movie tries to be just like a normal movie with some good Mad Maxy stuff, but ultimately it's just okay. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like a post-apocalyptical like King Arthur's court story. Like it's a kid who leaves their land or gets taken out of their land, that can't go back home, that gets raised by their captors and stuff like that, and then vows revenge and then ultimately gets revenge. Like it's a story that's been told over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The story for Fury Road is truck go from here to here, then it go back.
Weird ass people do stuff as well.
Shit happens. Like that's all it is.
100%. I just and now, I mean, it's not like we don't have some of that. So maybe, I think we're gonna be critical. Do we want to talk about like what we like?
Yeah, we get introduced to the new big character that hasn't been in the Mad Max movies before, because some of the bad guys we've obviously seen in Fury Road and stuff like that, and they're all just archetypes anyway. But Chris Hemsworth and Dementus, his character, the fake nose wearing Hemsworth, going for it. He's like a mob boss in the wilderness with his biker gang. I think this is the one part that does work. I think he is the energy that kind of carries this movie when it is really, really slow and dull. What did you guys think?
He absolutely crushed it.
Fun fact that Chris Hemsworth actually took that nose from Bradley Cooper in Maestro.
Because
they're pretty good noses. I think that the first time, so Luke and I, you and I saw this opening like the Thursday, like we saw it the earliest time you could really see it for us, normal people. And and I enjoyed it. And I think Chris Hemsworth is like, he's going for it, and I think that he is successful. But I also think that other people could have done this better.
No,
like,
I don't think so.
I mean, I just like the question that I asked myself, and tell me if I'm wrong. Is Chris Hemsworth a very good actor?
I think because of this movie, I think so. I swear to God. And like I've said before, you got to have some good man meat in these movies. And I don't think there's another actor who's going to look as good as Chris Hemsworth with his nipples getting ripped off and do this voice and this performance. I think he is a good actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks great. He's going for it. The second time around, I got like, I mean, you know, this is just a kind of a hot take, but I got like, the height, like maybe a community theater. Like, he's like real. I mean, I can also be like, all right, because I really liked it the first time, but like I don't know. He's going
I think that's
for
part
it.
of the. I think that's part of the performance, though. Like that
sure.
type of person that he's trying to play would act like that.
Sure. And I think you've got a
he's
point.
Very hammy. He's very staging it all up because he has to be this larger than life guy to convince these people to do these crazy things.
Yes, and I think that he's, like you said, acting. He's putting on this act, and one of the things that I really did like about this movie was having, and it was unexpected, having a villain who's really stupid and bad at their job and overconfident. And that's what Dementus goes into the Citadel, and his whole party just gets worked over, and many of them killed, and they have to retreat. And he's clever enough to put the pressure on Immortan Joe, and
but Immortan Joe, like,
then he fucks that up too.
Runs circles around Dementus the entire, like, from a tactical standpoint. Immortan's just like, all right, fine. He's gonna do the thing where he wants to draw us in, and then he comes back.
I liked how he
great general Immortan Joe.
Oh yeah.
At least at that stage of his career. Now in Fury Road, he's a little bit not using the logic brain as much, really thinking with other parts of his body.
Yeah.
So quick fun fact. So originally Dementus was going to be played by I'm going to probably mess this name up, by Yahya Abdul Mateen II, who you probably know from The Watchmen. or the Trial of Chicago. And Jodie Comer.
Is he Wonder Man?
He is.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he could have been good, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if you could do an Australian accent. I don't know if you would have had to.
I feel like doesn't need to. Charlize didn't do an Australian accent, did she?
Yeah, exactly. Anya Taylor-Joy's not doing one either.
Yeah, and he was legitimately cast.
I mean, Immortan Joe and Erectus aren't doing Australian accents.
It's very random. Yeah, at this point, there's just like, because of the original. But he was cast, and he had to leave. He had to step out for scheduling reasons. Anya Taylor-Joy was always the first pick, but Jodie Comer was like the runner-up. Although Charlize Theron wanted to come back, but they're like, no, you're too old. Women in Hollywood! It's horrible, but also, like, they were like, I mean, obviously this is her prequel, and they would have had to like age her down, and they're like, no,
that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah, I think Anya. Yeah.
Did they have to put Anya Taylor-Joy's head on a little kid's body in this movie? Because am I incorrect?
I think she's that scrawny. I think she's that scrawny.
But that's short too.
They did CG all over the place on this film. So I think and they said something about that they did certain things to make her more Charlize-like that involved CG. I obviously don't know the details, but I wouldn't be totally surprised.
Well, they didn't make her eyeballs any smaller because her eyeballs are gigantic. And if they got any bigger, I think she needs some support, like a bra for your eyes. Maybe goggles would help.
She uses those. She needs that eye cleavage. Woo.
I love
Jeez.
it. I love it.
My eyes are actually here. My eyes are here. You're looking at them. You had a hot take, Peter. You teased us with.
Oh yeah. I'm not a big fan of her look. I mean, I get she's got big eyes, and that works with the contrast against the grease on her forehead. She's also got a big forehead. Maybe she's got a 5 head. This is all her large forehead, large eyes. I think that she should be cast in Steven Spielberg's new Alien movie because I think that she is an alien hybrid.
She should have been in Begonia.
She could have been Begonia. I think she honestly looks to me like if aliens thought this is what a pretty girl is supposed to look like, and then they made her. She creeps me out.
She has a very unique look. I'll give that to you. It's very.
I love it. I was swept away by the Queen's Gambit. I just, what are you gonna do?
She's a good actress for sure, but just I don't know. Her normal look creeps me out. I think she's well cast as Paul Atreides' creepy sister in the new Dune movie because that is a creepy part. So I think she's perfectly cast as that.
What are you talking about? When she talks like that,
she's trying to do Charlize's voice.
That's right.
Well, before we get further into bashing the movie, I
like her, by the way. I'm
another
pro.
part.
Okay, go.
So at the 1 hour and 5 minute mark, we have the first big car chase or truck chase. It is titled the Stairway to Nowhere or Stowaway to Nowhere. It's the one where she's on the bottom of the truck getting out of there. That car chase absolutely rips.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Fantastic.
That's something that I might bring up later.
What do you know?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's certain parts that are great because, surprisingly, they're car chases.
Just go with what you're good at.
No car chases. That's weird.
This part's good. Bullet Town is good.
Bullet Town. I mean, it's interesting too that they try to make it this saga, right, with the different parts, like part 1, part 2. George was so happy.
Just skip me with that shit.
I know. Well, because it's like he was like, I think you're leaning so much into like this is a narrative. Imagine if they tried to do that with any of the previous Mad Max movies. They'd be like, part 2, more cars. It's just it's just a singular thing. But the car chases are great. I mean, the character. What do you think about the characters and the vibes and like everything compared to what we've seen in the past?
I did like some of the your little name here, Chris Octoboss. Like I did like the organization of these like separate factions kind of going off and doing their own thing. I think missed opportunity. Maybe they didn't have the money for the CGI. The Octoboss blimp was so cool looking. And there was the part where the Octoboss tentacles are like attached to the back of the war rig and spinning for a little bit. I was like, show me more of that. That was so cool looking.
No, that was amazing. That was so artistic when they pull out the Tommy knocker, right?
Yeah, the rear spinning maces.
Mm-hmm.
That was beautiful.
I still lose it every single time the parachute guys pop up. I'm like, what a sick idea.
Absolutely.
Especially the dudes with the fans strapped to their fucking back.
Yeah.
They're surfing on the sand with just like little metal shoe things.
Immediately when they go into basically water skiing, I was like, God damn, this part rips.
Sand.
Yeah, and it's sticking to its guns. That's why it's good. Should have stayed there the whole time.
Yeah.
I wonder, it's like Fury Road was such a success. It's like George Miller they're like, you want to do this? Sure. Like he was allowed to do this. Like because of the success, but but
it's 9 years later. Doesn't that seem like a really long gap between?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the specifics.
Apparently, it was in like production hell until 2020.
Yeah, and then you
Okay.
had like the pandemic and whatnot.
Oh yeah, well I forgot about that. Shit.
Big black area for production for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think there's some good stuff. I thought that Anya Taylor-Joy, like, first of all, yes, is it a bummer that she's essentially not in the film at all until
1 hour?
Yeah, at least an hour, like maybe a little, and then she comes in.
It's exactly an hour.
And then she doesn't speak, like, which, okay, like I get it, it's cool, and she does a lot of eye acting. Obviously, that's something she has in spades.
She's got
so
big
she can
eyes.
do that, but I think that she brings like a level of almost like legitimacy, maybe. Like as I was not feeling Hemsworth as much, feeling like, okay, like I get it, he's going for it, he's doing that job. I don't know this time around if I like that as much. It kind of just seemed maybe a little obnoxious, and like, yeah, we get it. But her like kind of just like, I don't know, her calm, quasi movie star presence. She's an absolute movie star. Was just, I don't know, it grounded it a bit. And also like, yeah, I guess because in Fury Road, our 2 main stars were pretty chill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Max wasn't chill.
I think if Hemsworth's not in this movie sucks. It's just bad. I don't think Anya Taylor-Joy is doing anything like bad in it, but like if it's just her and a lesser villain type character, like this movie has no legs. Like it has, one, 20-minute car chase scene that's really cool, and that's about it. Hemsworth at least brings it, especially in his death scene. He's killing it. He is running circles around Anya Taylor-Joy.
I think she's doing the same kind of job that Mel Gibson did in the first 3 movies of like looking very good and being, seldom spoken with her lines, but looking great and doing just enough. I think. Yeah. I agree with you. I think Hemsworth does a great job.
He's good. Like again, it's a little bit of a hot take. I mean, obviously you need that role to like, that is the main character. I mean, it just is. Even though it's called Furiosa, this is the Dementus film. And you need a movie star, and you need someone to just like go for it and go nuts. And he does those things. He totally does. And he's a fucking movie star. Like, yes.
Do you know what you also need? You need something. I'll blame the writing. So Tom Burke, the actor, this is not on you, but Praetorian Jack is just a nothing burger. There is no reason to have that character. They might as well have just thrown Furiosa and made up some reason why Martin Joe just made her the driver. Because like the handoff, the love story, none of it works. The person playing it, Tom Burke, like, sorry, you just weren't compelling. I'm sure it's the material, but there's nothing there in that part.
Totally boring. Totally agree. Like it added nothing to the film. And I mean, I get it, but it could have been better. And
well, is this so? There's like slang terms that I hardly understand. When you have a character and you fridge them, that's a character that it's simply meant to die so that the main character is sad and have motivation. And it's like they tried to do romance between Praetorian Jack and Furiosa, and then they have the scene where they get captured and he gets dragged to death, and she witnesses that and then rips her own arm off. Like that's kind of something that's been done to women in Hollywood for a long time. Is to have a woman character be harmed or killed just for the purpose of motivating the main character. So it's kind of cool that they flipped it, but yes, he doesn't, you don't even really care about him that much. So it's not that great of an example, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. He has to do something or have something else about him that's compelling. He's just not a compelling character.
Every episode of Bonanza, by the way, that's the woman dies like every episode. Well, that which is, I mean, there's a great podcast. This is just, I mean, podcast talking about other podcasts. Bananas for Bonanza with
Is that the Andy Daly one?
Yeah, it's
I've heard of that one.
It's incredible, and they're like, yeah, every time they're like a new woman, it just dies.
Oh my
They're
god!
like, oh,
So that's it.
not that big of a deal. And not to mention Hop Sing, but that's another podcast. Check it out. It's very successful. Anyways, but yeah, his character Jack, not very exciting. I guess, like, what do you do? Do you make him? What is his personality? Like, he has to kind of mirror her.
Yeah, he's like another.
Well, he's
Mad
the Max
quiet guy. He should be.
Yeah.
He should have been just more extravagant and flamboyant.
Yeah,
or
make him
something.
crazy or something.
Yeah,
Anything. Make him black.
Yes.
Anything but that.
Anything. Like, it was.
That was bad timing by you guys, because I don't think you heard what I said.
Oh, I did. I heard it. I just walked right by it. That's all right. That's fine.
Live to camera.
So, like, yeah, I don't know. He's not good. There it is.
Yeah, and it sucks that Hugh Byrne, the guy that played Immortan Joe, died in 2020, so he wasn't able to come back and reprise his role. So it's another guy doing a Hugh Byrne impersonation as Immortan Joe, and it doesn't have the same quality to it.
No,
doesn't have quite the gravelly of voice. Not quite there.
I know that.
I will say about the Immortan Joe family that I laughed in the theater and I laughed today when I watched the film at Scrotus.
Scrotus.
Very funny name.
Does he die at the end of this one? Scrotus.
I think so.
Because he's not in Fury Road, but Rictus is.
He's castrated.
And the same actor who plays Scrotus plays like one of the featured war boys in Fury Road, Slit.
Sure. All right.
Slit.
I had a brother, and he was perfect in every way.
Every way.
Did you
Organic Mechanic is back?
Yeah, we almost said it at the same time. Organic Mechanic does come back.
Love the Organic Mechanic.
He's cool. I liked a familiar face. I was like, okay, Organic Mechanic.
I did not like the look when he was cutting the cord. Not happy about that.
Angus Sampson is, of course, that actor's
name. I wanted to ask a question. How many people, or how much of a person do you think the man-eater has eaten to be called the man-eater?
Whoa.
At least a full one, or at least like...
Because I can imagine a scenario where there's just like a legend or a story that like he ate, a person one time and that's how he got the nickname, the man-eater. Or is this just a common thing that he's willing to do?
I feel like it doesn't matter. You do it. You even have like a toe.
Well, that's what I'm saying is all you have to do is do it once. You only have to do it once to get the name, but does he continue to do it?
Did someone give him his nickname or did he make up his own? You can't make up your own nickname. Someone's got to give it to you.
Yeah. Also, why would you call yourself the man-eater? Like, is he a big fan of Hall & Oates?
Oh,
that's what I was going to say. Hall & Oates.
Or the first movie about Hannibal Lecter starring Brian Cox.
Fuck off.
Oh, man.
This man-eater, is he the guy with he's got the big foot. He's probably got an extra stomach in that foot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what we hear about...
He has the nose guard.
He gets killed in Fury Road. He's got his big fat foot jammed on the accelerator after he gets shot up.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yep.
The guys, I think that's what we know about.
What disease does Immortan Joe have?
Ooh, shingles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think that elaborate machine is just to alleviate him the pain of shingles for the rest of his life?
Time ago. It's just
also,
actually,
or does he wear it so that he is immortal?
I mean,
does it have to do with the half-life, a radiation thing?
Could be. Lots of questions that George Miller brings out of you when you consider these films.
Answer.
See, the questions that you have from Fury
I also
Road,
have another.
I don't need any of them answered. They're answered enough in Fury Road.
I got a logistical question. So after the Bullet Farm teardown, Hemsworth and his crew, ride out of there after Praetorian Jack and Furiosa. They catch up really quick. I know they take the one shortcut over the bluff.
Yeah, with the monster truck.
But that monster truck must have just been running pure nitrous to be able to catch. Like, that is a V8 dune buggy that they have that can probably do 80 to 95 miles an hour flat out. Yeah. And it's not like you have to drive a speed limit or something. Like, you are immediately flooring it and moving in a direction when they're not moving. Like, they would have to be traveling so fast to catch up at that pace.
Mm-hmm. That should have been another car chase. We missed a car chase. They yada over a potential.
It should have been like a 5-day overtaking that they eventually had.
Speaking of yada, the 40-day war between.
I know, insane.
Dude, I can't believe they did that because they were setting it all up so well, and then they did that, and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
We don't need that shit.
Can we talk about
Game of Thrones?
The history man, George Setsoff.
The first history.
I love his voice.
Great. Love the history guy. Very cool character concept with the tattoos and basically telling normal facts about the world that you would know if you took a 8th grade history lesson.
I think he was like the coolest side character for sure in my book.
He was at the beginning told Furiosa, did he say make yourself invaluable to Dementus and he will take care of you?
Yeah, and then the thing about tears, they're like, tears taste differently.
Tears of sorrow. Yeah, that was good. There's good stuff there.
And as he says it, a tear is going down his tattooed face.
Before they skip over the 40 Days War, he's recounting all the other days wars that happened. The 100 Years War, the Orange War, the War of the Roses.
The War of the Roses.
Very Shakespearean. But it matches what Hemsworth is doing with Dementus. I do want to just, I think Dementus's death is,
not death.
Scene. Not technical death, but him being under the tree is a pretty stupid stamp on the end of this film, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the ending is kind of like derivative and like, yes, so don't give in to hate. He wants you to give in to hate. She won't. Kind of, but she actually does. She just keeps.
That is a way worse fate to slowly die by a tree growing in you.
Yeah, as an arborist, that was a pretty sick death right there, or whatever. Trees growing out of his dick. Come on, that's fucking cool.
Boing! Shit! Fuck! I'd like to take that thing down.
Real wood.
Yeah, that's quite the death. Or torture scene. But yeah, I thought that there was nothing, again, like when they try to make points, when they try to like do anything besides just be vibes and car chases, like they're not deep or saying anything interesting.
He's kind of George Lucas. He's kind of an idea man, and if you write too much, then they hated it, and you show them too much, and then they hated it, and then if you do this and that, then they hated it. You know what? Just do the ideas, otherwise they're gonna hate it. You know?
Phantom Menace hated it.
All right, let's get to the awards.
Let's do it.
Peter, what was your favorite scene of Furiosa?
Favorite scene, I think, is going to be a popular one. It's the war rig run to Bullet Farm, but specifically because you got to see the logistical operation of how a normal run works. You fight some guys, you lose some war boys, you have a new shipment of war boys to get on the rig, man the rig. You've got positions underneath that have people fixing stuff. That's where Furiosa is underneath doing stuff, and she shows her skill and her value, and she kind of like gets promoted as Praetorian Furiosa because of that run. And so that's my favorite scene.
I think it's the best car chase scene between the two films.
Between Fury Road and Furiosa?
Do you think it's a better car chase scene than the Fury Road ones? You would put it behind all of those?
Yeah, I got chills seeing stuff in Fury Road. This had my jaw dropping when the parachute guys come, but like chills because of the
all right. No, that's
the visuals,
fair.
Fury Road all the way.
Tried out a take, didn't catch. Chris, your favorite scene?
So, okay, I was gonna say like what this I think is the same scene, but like when she's underneath the car.
Under the rig, war rig.
Yeah, she's strapped to that rail and she's sliding along.
Yeah, along a cable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting the tube in.
Yeah.
Jeffrey tube.
Yeah. I think that's the same one.
Yeah. I said it. I won't take it back. You could say like the Bullet Town, what happens in Bullet Town, but I'll give it to you, Luke.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'll go with the death scene, Dementus's death scene. Really dig it. I really dig the philosophy that they're getting into, psychology, the history of violence. Great movie with Viggo Mortensen. But yeah,
Hidalgo, my man.
Hidalgo is one of the best movies ever made. That's just true. Performance of the film, I'll just quickly get mine in. It's Hemsworth. I think that's all I need to say about that. Peter?
Yeah, definitely Hemsworth. I do love his voice. I think he tried to be like a dorky, nasally kind of voice to try something different, and I really liked it. I can't hold this thing any longer now. When he puts that bolt through the guy's head, that was a good part. Yeah, Hemsworth, no question.
I'll give it to Anya. Like I said, this time around, it just I appreciated the energy that she brought to the film, which otherwise was just all crazy people. So I'll give it to Anya and her beautiful eyes.
They're so beautiful. MVP, Chris.
Ooh. Interesting. So I'm gonna go with come back to me. Hold on. I'm thinking. Let's do Peter real quick.
I had a hard time with this one, but I really dug the war rig. Had a huge carving along the entire war rig. So whoever designed that war rig and just the mechanics of the grapple back hose. So
cool.
The designer of the war rig and the carving on the side, like that was pretty sick. I'm gonna go with
my MVP is whosever idea it was and the stunt guys that did the parachute thing, especially the guys with the fans on their back. That is the MVP of this movie.
That was pretty sick. I love that. I'll go, and this will just, I'll be weird with it and give it to the history man, who is also the narrator.
Cool.
And like, of course, is it kind of just punting for a different, to be
this is a prequel to like a 9 out of 10 Stone Cold classic. Like it, yeah. We're talking around it, but it's not special in any way.
But also hear me out, and this is another thought I had. We watched a lot of shit for this podcast. Like this, like as far as like, any like the later Die Hards or the Terminators or anything like that, like, or even like this is a big swing that has very enjoyable things. I think maybe we've been so spoiled with Fury Road, and I get it, and it's not, and there's clearly missteps. There's clear, like, it's clear, you can be like, oh, so George Miller is good at this, not good at this. That's easy. But also, like, just to take a second and be like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. The next franchise that we might cover, I'm just saying, we might look back and say Furiosa and be like, oh, you know, like that meme. We'll just be looking back like, God, man, I remember Dementus. Fuck. So, you know, I'll just be like, guys, Dementus was actually fucking awesome. I'm sorry. But yeah, the history, I do like the narration, and yeah, so I'll give it to History Man. History Man is my MVP.
History guy. I like it. Ratings. Peter, let's out of 10.
I gave this a 7.5. Like I don't know. I feel like maybe we're shitting on this movie too much.
You and IMDb agree.
It's like it's not bad, but it's like in the grand scheme of it, is it necessary? It reminds me of The Thing, and then the prequel, which is also stupidly titled The Thing. It's just that the prequel it's not terrible, but it's not necessary, and the information that I got in the first one was enough. The mystery was good, and there was enough info in the mysteries that I just didn't need. I didn't need this movie, but then again, I don't know. I think we're shitting on it a little too much. It was still enjoyable for the most part. 7.5 is my grade.
Yeah, it has like one of the best car chases you'll ever see in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris?
7.1. You know, because like it's good. It's not like, you know, once we get into like sixes and whatnot, like I feel like that's when we're saying like this is actually actively bad, and it's not. It takes big swings, and it does there's absolutely parts that are incredibly entertaining. But yeah, the second, I guess, yeah, and I'm guessing you might feel this way too, Luke. Watching it the second time was not as good. So I'm going to go 7.1.
Yeah, I was going to open with that too, Chris. So it's funny you say that. If you would have asked me walking out of the theater what I would rate it, it would be in the 8s.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a 7.3, 7.2, right in Chris's area right there. But yeah, I love the in-theater experience. I think, like Peter was saying, we maybe have been a little bit too harsh, but honestly, the second viewing didn't do it justice, in my opinion. But yeah, banging movie in the theater, doesn't quite hold up the way that you would want it to, but it's not bad in any way. 7.2, 7.3, right in that area.
Good deal.
Box office bomb. Well, I don't know.
I thought it
not
was.
a success. Not a success.
I think it was still okay. It grossed 174 million against a budget, so it made its money back. Okay. But like
that's not a success, yeah.
And also, I don't think that I don't know that it gets the average. Like it still probably ultimately lost money because of advertising, and because I don't think those numbers are included. Memorial Day weekend. It's a fun Memorial Day weekend release, but yeah. Do you guys want to really quickly rank your Mad Maxes?
Yeah, I did do that. I gotta go look at my notes.
I mean, I just off the cuff. You know,
Chris, you got it handy, or Peter, you can go.
I'm ready.
Sure, yeah, I'll okay, Peter.
Okay,
go.
sorry. All right. Ranking from best to worst, or should I go worst to best? Let's go worst to best. All right, Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max, then Furiosa, then Road Warrior, then Fury Road.
I feel like that's what I hear most often. I'll do mine, but so I mean, obviously and I know this is sacrilege, and people are hearing this and be like, "You didn't fully watch Road Warrior, and you're doing this podcast. What the hell is wrong with you?" Oh my God, I get it. I'm sorry. A lot was going on. But because of that, like, I'll just take, like, I know people say it's the second best one. I'll take your word for it. Whatever. There's a lot going on. I'm sorry. So I'll just omit it. I'll omit it because I think that's the only fair thing. So there you go. So then I will say, I'll do Thunderdome, Mad Max, Furiosa, Fury Road. So kind of the exact same as Peter, just without the. All right, Luke, do you have anything different, or are you going to also be the same?
I think it's about the same as Peter. I think that's a pretty definitive order.
Yeah, I remember
like the OG, like
I don't
purists
hate
are mad about us doing Mad Max so low. That's my guess.
potentially, but like it's the first Mad Max is definitely better than Thunderdome.
Yes.
It is not better than Road Warrior, and I don't even think the stands would say that. It's potentially better than Furiosa, but like, I don't know.
It's kind
of
like,
a
what are we
toss-up.
comparing it? Yeah, and it's like that was. I mean, if we're looking at like the original idea that started it all, lightning in a bottle, $10,000 budget, you discover Mel Gibson, holy shit, become a cult classic. Like that's amazing. The impact is the best.
Yeah, this time around, I really dug that first movie. Like I thought it was really good, really compelling. Gibson's fantastic. There's other side characters. Like it's better written than Furiosa.
Yeah. There's weird, interesting bad guys with just weird scenes that maybe it is a little more rewatchable than Furiosa. Furiosa was quite forgettable for most of it.
Mel Gibson's boss who opens his door and is just wearing no shirt and a tie, like
a V. He's just wearing like the V to a V-neck, and
yeah, I was leaning in with the popcorn when that guy showed up.
All right, but if you tuned in last week or listened to our show, we kind of spoiled the next franchise that we were going to cover, so we'll just talk about it now anyway, because that's what we do. Our last episode of the franchise we're currently on, we talk about the next one. It's going to be Predator. We're covering Predator.
Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper!
You son of a bitch!
We've done Bruce. We've done Arnold already, so this is our second Arnold. We haven't done Gibson. Well, we've done Gibson, but we haven't done him as his iconic one, Lethal Weapon.
Ooh, Lethal Weapon.
I love the Lethal Weapon movies.
But Luke doesn't like comedies, nor does he think we can podcast about them. So that's a double.
Those aren't comedies.
What?
I'd be down. I haven't watched the original Lethal Weapon in a long time.
Hold on. We got to talk about Predator. We can't get past the Lethal Weapon.
Hi, my name is Off Track Guy.
So, Peter, do you want to walk us through how we're going to be covering Predator?
Yes. Week 1, Predator. Week 2, we've got a triple feature. Predator 2, 1990. Predators, 2010. The Predator, 2018. Week 3, double feature. It's going to be Prey, 2022. Killer of Killers, 2025. Week 4 is Predator Badlands from 2025. That is it.
Was kind of the darling movie of the fans of that world last year. Predator Badlands, when we're closing it on, and then obviously the first movie is iconic, and then a fun third week, and then a just disgusting slew in that second week.
Yeah.
Man, although Peter, we got to watch 3 movies for one.
I was like, holy shit! Maybe we can all watch one and just be like, "This is what I'll report back. This is my book report."
Sure.
Book report. Yeah.
The movie report.
I'll watch
So
them all.
I watched Predator 2018.
That would be funny to explain the entire movie to me, because I haven't seen any of them. I've only seen the first movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I think the only one I haven't seen, is The Predator.
That 2018.
I've seen the first movie like 6 times.
Oh.
I just don't watch any of the other ones.
I've showed my kids. I watched the first one somewhat really recently, within I don't know 3 months ago. I was like, kids, you got to watch this.
So good. It's one of the best action movies of all time. It's
up
there with T2.
So there's some. I mentioned the movie The Thing. The Predator also has a scene at the very beginning of the movie, just like The Thing, where a spaceship crash lands on Earth. So we can have a discussion about, is that good or is that not good to have at the very beginning of the movie? We can talk about it later.
Sweet.
Also, if you're out there and you're saying, well, but guys, what about the 2 Alien vs. Predator movies? Well, I'd like to refer you to the back catalog, because we already did those as part of our Alien franchise, which was the first thing we ever did. So check it out. They're fine. They're not actually very good, but
shout out Leon. The new
Oh.
Mad Max is amazing. Well, that was a couple years ago that Furiosa came out.
All right.
New word.
Unless something new is coming. He also claims it's his favorite movie, so love it.
Well,
Cool.
we love that you're here celebrating it with us.
All right. Shout out Leon.
Leon.
Oh, I also
Leon S.
one
Kennedy,
more.
Resident Evil.
One more, guys.
Yes!
Oh my God.
You
Young
typed that
Machete.
in with your burner account. That's not.
I did. I was over on my phone.
I would just let
Well, we got
just
Dom
keep
last
going.
week said I look like David Arquette. So I mean, that's not bad.
I understand. I mean, he was right on. Pete Davidson was correct. No, I'm just kidding.
Mhm.
He looks
I'm
a little-
kind of. I said I'm more like Doofy from Scary Movie. Don't interrupt me when I'm cleaning my room.
Scary Movie. That's a franchise. There's a new one coming out this summer.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Good.
I know what you did last summer.
You can't ever tell anybody. It was a lot. I was under a lot of pressure. Okay. Well, thank you, Peter. Thank you, Luke.
All right.
That
Of
was
course.
fun.
Thank you, fellas.
Mad Max.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Mad Max and on to Predator.